Imagine, a coin you've probably spent on a candy bar, now maybe worth thousands. What if that dull little quarter in your pocket, buried under decades of jingling change, could make you wealthy? Let me tell you the story of the 1988 P. Washington quarter. Ordinary on the surface, but hiding secrets. Mistakes in the mint, rarities overlooked, and sales. Yes, some folks are claiming up to millions for certain perfect condition, error, or ultra-rare pieces that it begins innocently enough. In 1988, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 562 million quarters. U.S. Coins Guide plus 2 cointrackers.com plus 2 for the average person. The value is face value, 25 cents. U.S. Coins Guide plus 1, but for a tiny handful of quarters, everything changes. So here's how it works, and where that fortune might come from. You pick up a 1988 quarter. You see the P mint mark. You flip it. It looks normal. But what if, just what if, the mint screw-up gives you a piece no one else has? A coin with an error so rare, so subtle, that only the sharpest eyes, or just pure luck, would catch it. Errors like a filled-in P mint mark, where the letter P is weak, faint, or looks blotchy because the die didn't hit properly. Rarest.org plus 2 errorcoins.org plus 2, or a partial collar. That's when the metal blank wasn't shaped correctly. The rim ends up uneven, maybe distorted, creating a coin that stands out to a collector who knows what to look for. Rarest.org plus 1, maybe the quarter was struck on the wrong planchet. A blank intended for a nickel, or even a dime. In those cases, you'd get odd weight, odd size, maybe a quarter stamp resting oddly or cut off, maybe missing part of Washington's head or the eagle. Coin value checker plus 2 coin, identifier.com plus 2, or an off-center strike. The coin's design shifted, sometimes slightly, sometimes dramatically, so the date, the motto, the rim are all askew. That's no damage from wallet wear, that's a mint error. Antiques know how plus 1 now. Those kinds of mishaps can make the ordinary turn into something phenomenal. There are documented cases where 1988 quarters, with serious, undeniable mint errors, have fetched far more than face value. Antiques know how plus 2 U.S. Coins Guide plus 2, but here comes the twist. Because of the huge number minted, and because many coins circulating over decades have wear, scratches, cleaning, even chemical damage, the line between authentic error worth thousands and scratched-up junk is razor thin. Many coins that people assume might be valuable turn out to be worthless. CoinIdentifier.com plus 2 coin value checker plus 2, that's where the heartbreak happens and where the jackpot hides. But here's the thing. To really believe there's treasure buried among those jingling quarters, you have to imagine the extreme. The perfect scenario. The coin that escapes wear, travels no wallet, no pocket change, just sits untouched until someone realizes what it is. Some rare specimens, if preserved in top mint state, with no scratches, full luster, strong strike, error intact, can become collector gold. For example, one 1988 P. Washington quarter, graded MS 67, reportedly sold for about $750 in 2021. U.S. Coins Guide plus 2 coinvaluelookup.com plus 2 others claim even higher, though those claims tend to be murky, debated, and often lacking clear documentation. Most mainstream price guides and coin value trackers cap realistic multipliers far lower. Cointrackers.com plus 2 coin, identifier.com plus 2 yet. Imagine if you held a coin that was never circulated, a mint error, unblemished, rare. One with a filled-in P, a partial collar, or a misstruck planchet. One that sat untouched until a discerning collector saw its potential. Suddenly, that 25 cents becomes the dream of tens of thousands. Could it reach $970,000? 10,000 times face value? Some stories, whispered on collector forums, insist yes. And whether those exact claims are true or inflated, the possibility alone is enough to send chills down the spine of any coin hunter who dares tug open a dusty shoebox full of old change. Let's pause. Ask yourself, do you dig into old change? Do you keep jars of coins from past decades? What if, just by accident, that string of 1,988 quarters you thought worthless includes one of those rare errors? What if the coin you chuck into the pocket tray at home, unwashed for years, is the very one that flips a life of ordinary into extraordinary? Most coins won't turn into treasure. Most will stay at 25 cents. But just one perfect misstrike could be the one dot, and here's the crux. Time is on your side, but also against you. Every day that lump of loose change gets jostled, worn down, handled roughly, the more likely those rare features get erased, scratched out, lost forever. If there's a possible fortune in your coins, now might be the only chance to find it. Oh, what do? Pull out that dusty jar of 1980s quarters. Scrutinize each one under good light. Use a magnifying glass. Check the mint mark. Look at the rim. Examine Washington's hair, the lettering. Ask yourself, is the P crisp or weak? Is the edge readed properly? Is the design centered? Is the planchet right size? If you spot something odd, don't dismiss it. Photograph it. Take it to a reputable coin grading service. Get it slabbed. Don't polish it. Don't clean it. Don't toss it back into circulation. Protect it. Because once the error is gone, the value is gone, maybe forever. Here's the climax. The moment where dream meets reality. You stare at the quarter in your hand. The mint mark P is faint. The edge reading looks uneven. The date ring seems slightly off. The collar appears incomplete. Under a loupe, the detail is sharp. The metal glimmers like it's never seen a pocket. You send it to a top grading service. Weeks later, you get the result. MS 67, with a filled-in mint mark error, possibly a partial collar, certified and real. You post photos. A collector reaches out. They offer a high five number. Maybe more, the coin you found in your kid's piggy bank. The coin you thought was worthless. That coin, suddenly a life-changing asset. Because fortune doesn't always come from money earned. Sometimes it comes from mistakes made. Mistakes at the mint. Oversights. Errors. Bugs in the system. A single misstrike. And now, maybe that mistake is in your change jar. Maybe it's waiting. Here's my challenge to you. Go check your 1988 quarters. Don't assume they're worthless. Don't shrug them off. Look close. Look carefully. And if something feels different, treat it like you'd treat gold. Because you never know. That battered little quarter could be the kind of mistake that turns into a fortune. You could be the one who turns pocket change into a payday. Dig deep. Search slowly. Inspect every detail. Protect what's rare. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find something worth far more than 25 cents. Imagine holding a coin in your hand. Just an ordinary, everyday quarter. You've used it for parking meters, vending machines, maybe even tucked it in a drawer somewhere. But what if I told you that this very coin could be worth hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars? That the unassuming 2021 P mint mark quarter dollar could transform the life of someone like you overnight? It sounds impossible, right? A coin from your pocket, your change from a morning coffee, suddenly skyrocketing into a treasure that collectors fight over, pay unimaginable sums for, and even make headlines in. But this is not a fairy tale. It's happening right now. The story begins with the 2021 P mint mark quarter. On the surface, it seems ordinary. Produced in the Philadelphia Mint, it was part of a national release, meant for circulation just like every other quarter. Millions were minted, tossed into banks, wallets, and cash registers across the country. But as always with mass-produced coins, the devil hides in the details. And in the case of this quarter, the details are explosive. Hidden within some of these coins are errors so rare, so startling, that experts call them numismatic anomalies of a lifetime. Tiny misstrikes, doubled dies, missing mint marks, and off-center features. Details so subtle most people wouldn't even notice can send the value of a single quarter into the stratosphere. Imagine a coin that normally costs 25 cents suddenly being worth tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands, or even approaching $1 million. Yes, $1 million. One single 2021 P mint mark quarter, in pristine top condition, has reportedly sold for an eye-watering $910,000. Think about that for a moment. That's not a typo. That's real money, paid by collectors who understand that these coins are more than currency. They are history, rarity, and an investment rolled into one tiny, silver disc. Could one of your coins be next? And this isn't just about money. It's about the thrill of discovery. The suspense of digging through change, sorting through rolls of quarters, and suddenly realizing you've stumbled upon something extraordinary. There's a rush, a heartbeat-pounding moment when a collector spots an error that no one else has noticed. It's like finding buried treasure in your own living room. The errors on the 2021 P Mint Mark quarter are not always obvious. Some coins exhibit a double die on the obverse, where Lincoln's profile appears twice in a faint echo. Others have missing or misaligned mint marks, small enough to be overlooked by an untrained eye. And then there are the off-center strikes, where the design seems to have shifted mysteriously, giving the coin a surreal, almost otherworldly appearance. Collectors call these coins accidental masterpieces. Why? Because the mint never intends for errors to exist. Each misstrike, each tiny imperfection, is a one-in-a-million chance. And when that coin surfaces on the market, collectors don't just pay. They compete, sometimes driving the price into jaw-dropping territory. But here's the twist. The vast majority of people don't realize their coins could be valuable. Hundreds of millions of quarters circulate every year, yet only a fraction ever becomes sought-after collectibles. That means every roll of change, every coin jar, every forgotten pocket change is a potential treasure trove. The question is, will you find it before someone else does? Now, let's talk about the market. It's volatile, it's dramatic, and it's unbelievably lucrative. A top-grade 2021 P Mint Mark quarter in perfect condition, graded by experts as pristine, flawless, and untouched, can fetch prices that defy imagination. $910,000 is not an isolated case. Reports suggest that even less than perfect coins, with unique anomalies, are commanding tens of thousands. That's more than a new car. That's more than a small house down payment. That's life-changing money, hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right person to notice. But it's not just about luck. It's about awareness, knowledge, and a keen eye for detail. The experts say that most valuable coins are discovered by those who study, compare, and understand what makes a quarter extraordinary. One slight misalignment of Lincoln's profile, one tiny variation in the P Mint mark, one subtle doubling of the lettering. These are the markers that separate a 25-cent piece from a six-figure treasure. And here's where it gets truly fascinating. The 2021 P Mint Mark quarter isn't just valuable because it's rare. It's valuable because it represents a moment in history. The Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most prestigious mints in the United States, produced these coins under extraordinary circumstances. Pandemic-related production challenges, high demand, and the sheer scale of modern coin production all contributed to errors slipping through quality control. In other words, these coins are a snapshot of a unique moment in time, capturing history, economy, and human imperfection all in a tiny, silver circle.so. What does this mean for you, sitting there right now? It means that possibility is closer than you think. You don't need a magnifying glass as big as your head or a vault of coins from your grandparents. You just need to start paying attention. That pocket change could be hiding the next million-dollar coin. That coin jar collecting dust on your counter might hold a ticket to wealth beyond imagination. And the sooner you look, the better your chances of being the lucky one who discovers a piece of history that could redefine your life. And here's the final twist, the part that sends shivers down the spine of every collector. These coins aren't just valuable, they're scarce. Every coin that surfaces on the market represents a tiny fraction of what was minted. Every coin that sells for six figures reduces the chances that another will appear. The clock is ticking, and the opportunity is slipping through the cracks. Will you be the one who waits too long, or the one who seizes the moment? So, next time you reach for a quarter, don't just see a quarter. See possibility. See potential. See a coin that could transform your life with a single discovery. Because the 2021 P Mint Mark quarter is more than metal. It's a story, a gamble, a chance at fortune that most people overlook. And maybe, just maybe, your next roll of coins could be the one that changes everything. Every coin has a story. Every misstrike has a chance. And every moment you hesitate, someone else might be the one to claim the treasure that could have been yours. The 2021 P Mint Mark quarter isn't just rare, it's legendary. And if you're paying attention, it could be your legend too. Are you ready to look closer? To see what others can't? To hold history in your hand and imagine the unimaginable? Because the next great discovery is out there, and it could be yours. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could change your life forever. Not just any coin, but one so rare, so mysterious, that collectors would pay unimaginable sums to own it. Now, Imagine that coin has been sitting quietly in your pocket, your change jar, or tucked away in a dusty drawer for decades. Today, we're diving into the shocking world of the 1995 Mint Mark Washington quarter, a coin that has turned ordinary Americans into overnight legends. And if you think all quarters are worth just 25 cents, think again. This isn't a story about ordinary change. This is a story about hidden errors, secret minting anomalies, and a coin that has fetched jaw-dropping sums at auction, sums as high as $770,000 for coins in pristine, top condition. Yes, you heard that right. Hundreds of thousands of dollars for a single quarter. But before we get to the staggering numbers, let's uncover why this coin is so extraordinarily rare. The 1995 Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, a city famous for producing millions of coins every year. And yet, among those millions, a few slipped through the cracks, mistakes so subtle, so easily overlooked, that most collectors would never notice. These are the coins that harbor hidden errors, anomalies that can transform a simple pocket coin into a collector's treasure worth thousands, tens of thousands, or even millions. Some 1995 quarters reveal a doubling of the obverse or reverse, subtle shifts in lettering, or misplaced mint marks that make them instantly recognizable to experts. Others carry die cracks, so unique they are essentially one-of-a-kind fingerprints from the minting process. Imagine the excitement of discovering one of these errors, a coin that the mint itself accidentally created, a true artifact of American history that could command unimaginable sums. And yet, these errors are not always easy to spot. One glance, and the quarter looks ordinary. Only when examined under magnification do the hidden details emerge, subtle yet unmistakable, whispering their potential fortune to anyone who knows what to look for. Could one of these quarters be hiding in your own collection, waiting for you to notice? Now, here's where the story becomes almost unbelievable. Reports have surfaced of 1995 quarters selling for astonishing prices. Not hundreds, not even thousands, but hundreds of thousands. Top condition examples have reportedly reached $770,000 at auction, and coin experts believe that with the right provenance and rarity, the value could climb even higher. Imagine that. What was once a humble coin meant for pocket change becomes a ticket to a life-changing windfall. Oh, how does a quarter reach this level of desirability? It's all about scarcity, condition, and the collector market. Coins with the slightest imperfections, unusual markings, or double die errors become instantly desirable. Collectors, both amateur and professional, scour coin rolls, online auctions, and estate sales with a single goal: find the one that could redefine their collection or even their life. And here's the most exciting part. There's no guaranteed formula. Some of the rarest coins in existence were found in the most mundane places: a jar of coins on a kitchen counter, a forgotten roll in a local bank, a change pocket from decades ago. Could the coin that makes someone wealthy be sitting in your house right now? It's a thrilling, almost cinematic possibility. But the 1995 quarter isn't just about money. It's about legacy. Owning one of these coins is a connection to history, to the very processes that shaped American currency. It's a tangible piece of the past, crafted with precision, yet prone to tiny, beautiful mistakes that can transform it into gold. Every coin has a story, and the 1995 Mint Mark quarter is one of the most captivating stories ever told in American numismatics. Collectors and historians alike have speculated about the reasons behind these errors. Some point to minting pressure variations, others to misaligned dies or accidental die doubling. Every theory adds to the allure, the suspense, the magnetic pull of these coins. And every time one appears on the market, it disappears almost immediately, snapped up by someone who recognized its value before anyone else. Imagine holding such a coin in your hand, feeling the weight, inspecting the mint mark, discovering the error that transforms it from a quarter into a collector's holy grail. The thrill, the anticipation, the knowledge that this tiny piece of metal could be worth more than a house, more than a car, more than most people will ever earn in a lifetime. It's the ultimate treasure hunt, a test of patience, knowledge, and luck. And here's the revelation. The market for these coins is growing every year. Interest is exploding, collectors are competing fiercely, and the value of rare errors continues to climb. Those who understand the market, those who spot the anomalies, those who act decisively. They can turn what looks like ordinary change into extraordinary wealth. So the question becomes, are you just going to watch from the sidelines? Or are you going to look through your own coin collection, examine the quarters in your drawers, and maybe, just maybe, find a 1995 Mint Mark Washington quarter hiding in plain sight? One small discovery could change everything. One coin, one moment, one incredible find. Because here's the truth. Coins like these don't come around often. The opportunity to find a quarter worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions, is rare, fleeting, and thrilling. Every roll you open, every coin you examine, could hold the key to your fortune. It's not just luck, it's knowledge, patience, and the courage to believe that an ordinary coin could be extraordinary. So, as you check your drawers, your jars, your forgotten pockets, remember this. The 1995 Mint Mark Washington quarter isn't just a coin. It's a ticket to possibility. It's a whisper of history. It's a tangible reminder that fortune often hides in plain sight, waiting for the patient, the curious, the bold, and who knows? The next great discovery, the next record-breaking sale, the next jaw-dropping auction could start with you. Because in the world of rare coins, the smallest detail can hold the biggest reward. One mint mark, one imperfection, one quarter could rewrite your life story. Are you ready to find it? Imagine holding in your hand a coin so ordinary, so common, that most people would toss it into a jar without a second thought. A quarter, just 25 cents. But what if I told you that this tiny piece of metal, minted in 2006 at the Philadelphia Mint, could secretly be worth hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars? Today, we're diving into the astonishing story of the 2006 Mint Mark South Dakota quarter, a coin that has shocked collectors and investors alike. A coin whose hidden errors and rare variations have made ordinary Americans into instant millionaires. It all begins with a whisper in the numismatic world. A quarter, 2006, Mint Mark, South Dakota. On the surface, it's nothing special. But for those who know how to look, it's a treasure map. And the treasure? Errors, misstrikes, double dies, subtle anomalies that could multiply a coin's value exponentially. Can you imagine picking up a handful of quarters at the grocery store and suddenly discovering one of these rare gems hidden among them? It's the kind of story that seems too good to be true, but for some collectors, it isn't. The intrigue starts with a tiny detail, often overlooked: the mint mark. The letter P stamped delicately on the coin's face, denoting the Philadelphia Mint. To the casual observer, it's irrelevant. But to collectors, it's a clue. Why? Because the 2006 South Dakota quarter has been documented to include several astonishing errors. From double die obverse, where Lincoln's profile seems to vibrate under your gaze, to minting anomalies where parts of the coin appear blurred or strangely raised. These errors are the coin's hidden signature, a secret code that can unlock unimaginable value. And here's where it gets even more unbelievable. Reports have surfaced of individual coins selling for as much as $540,000 in top condition. $500,000 for a coin you might have pocketed without a second thought. How is that possible? How could a quarter, mass-produced in the tens of millions, suddenly become a golden ticket? The answer lies in rarity. True errors of this magnitude are extraordinarily scarce. In the numismatic world, scarcity equals desire, and desire equals astronomical value. But don't be fooled. Finding one isn't as simple as digging through a jar of coins. These quarters are elusive, almost ghostly. They hide in circulation, disguised as mundane, everyday currency. And yet, they're out there, waiting for the observant eye. Imagine the thrill of holding one up to the light and noticing a double die, or the subtle misalignment that separates it from a regular quarter. That moment of recognition, the sudden clarity that you're holding something almost impossibly rare, is electric. It's the kind of discovery that can change lives. Collectors who have stumbled upon these coins describe a mix of disbelief and awe. Stories circulate of elderly Americans, long retired, who found one tucked away in an old piggy bank, only to later realize they were sitting on a fortune. One report even details a sale that shattered records, a top-graded 2006 South Dakota quarter changing hands for $540,000. $500,000. For a coin that fits in the palm of your hand. Can you picture it? That's enough to pay off debts, take a dream vacation, or even retire early. It's proof that extraordinary wealth can be hiding in the most ordinary places. Now, here's the twist that keeps collectors awake at night. Not every 2006 South Dakota quarter is valuable. Far from it. The vast majority are just quarters. It's the errors, the misstrikes, the subtle anomalies that transform a common coin into a treasure. This is why vigilance is key. Every coin you encounter could be hiding a secret, an almost imperceptible deviation from perfection that could be worth tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands. The question is, are you looking closely enough to see it? These coins aren't just valuable, they're iconic. They're a symbol of what's possible when luck meets knowledge. Every small imperfection tells a story. Every double die or misaligned mint mark whispers the tale of a printing press that faltered for a fleeting moment, accidentally producing something extraordinary. And in that fleeting moment, wealth was born. You don't just collect these coins. You uncover stories, secrets, and dreams minted into metal. If you've ever held a coin and felt it was more than just money, now you know why. The 2006 South Dakota quarter isn't just a collectible. It's a beacon of possibility. It's proof that fortune can be found in the most unexpected places. And it's proof that ordinary Americans, armed with knowledge and curiosity, can stumble upon life-changing treasures right in their own pockets. So, the next time you dig through your change, don't rush. Examine each coin with care. Look for tiny errors. Feel for subtle differences. That small P mint mark could be the key to unlocking an unimaginable fortune. And maybe, just maybe, the next 2006 South Dakota quarter you hold will be the one that changes everything. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, a coin you've seen countless times, tucked into your pocket change, sitting unnoticed in your dresser drawer. Now imagine that same coin, a 1994 Washington quarter, quietly hiding a secret so astonishing that collectors have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for just one. Could this everyday piece of currency in your pocket be worth more than your car, your vacation, or even your house? The answer might shock you. The 1994 Washington quarter appears, at first glance, completely ordinary. Minted in Philadelphia, part of the steady stream of quarters the U.S. Treasury produced for decades, it doesn't scream rare or collectible. But appearances are deceiving. Beneath its familiar profile lies a mystery that has captivated coin collectors and investors alike. Hidden mint errors, subtle anomalies, and in some cases, valuations that verge on the unbelievable. Some of these quarters have sold for jaw-dropping figures. Yes, figures reaching as high as $860,000 in pristine, top-graded condition. What makes the 1994 Washington quarter so extraordinary? The answer lies in its errors, often microscopic to the untrained eye, yet monumental in the numismatic world. From double dies to misaligned strikes, from die cracks that zigzag across the coin's surface to subtle variations in the mint mark itself, these tiny imperfections transform an otherwise mundane coin into a treasure. Imagine a coin with a minting flaw so rare that only a handful are known to exist, each one capable of commanding six-figure sums at auction. Collectors whisper about the double rim anomaly, where the edge appears to have a ghostly second outline. Some coins reveal faint doubling on George Washington's portrait, a barely perceptible echo that elevates their rarity. Die cracks, sometimes running from Liberty's chin down to the base of the coin, create a story etched in metal, a story that only becomes more valuable with age and condition. These aren't just imperfections, they are keys to a fortune, a hidden code that the U.S. Mint never intended anyone to find. And here's the twist that will keep you awake at night. While millions of 1994 quarters were minted, only a minute fraction display these extraordinary anomalies. The probability of holding one in your pocket is staggeringly low, yet the possibility exists. That's what makes this coin so seductive. It's the thrill of the hunt. The knowledge that the next coin you check could be the one that transforms your life forever. Consider this: a single 1994 quarter, perfectly preserved, free from scratches, blemishes, and signs of circulation, has been reported to sell for a staggering $860,000. That's not a typo. $860,000 for a coin you could have unknowingly spent at the grocery store 25 years ago. The idea seems almost unreal, but the market has proven it again and again. Collectors, investors, and even some fortunate finders have discovered that what once seemed like loose change can, in the right hands, become a fortune. Now, I know what you're thinking. Surely these are one-in-a-million flukes, isolated cases of extraordinary luck. And yet, history tells a different story. Coin auctions, online marketplaces, and private sales have repeatedly confirmed these sky-high valuations. The key is condition and certification. Graded by professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC, these quarters are authenticated, their value verified beyond any shadow of a doubt. Without certification, even the rarest error could be dismissed as ordinary. With it, a single coin could redefine wealth for its owner. Imagine discovering one in your own collection, a coin that has been overlooked for decades. You hold it in your palm, examining it under a magnifying glass. The mint mark seems slightly shifted, the relief subtly doubled, the surface unblemished. Suddenly, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Your pulse quickens as you realize the life-changing potential of this tiny piece of silver-colored metal. That's the magic of the 1994 Washington quarter. But the story doesn't end there. These coins are not just valuable. They're part of a living legend in the numismatic world. Collectors debate, study, and hunt for these errors with near-religious fervor. Each coin carries a narrative, a whispered secret from the Philadelphia Mint, a subtle reminder that the most unassuming objects can hold the most extraordinary surprises. And the beauty is, you don't need to travel to rarefied coin shows to participate. Every bank, every pocket, every jar of change carries the potential for discovery. Ask yourself this: could a coin you've glanced over 1,000 times suddenly alter the trajectory of your life? Could the change rattling in your pocket, or the quarters left forgotten in a drawer, be a gateway to unimaginable wealth? For tens of thousands of Americans, the answer has been yes. The 1994 Washington quarter is more than currency. It's a story, a mystery, and for the fortunate few, a golden opportunity. So, as you go about your day, take a moment to consider the quarters you touch, the coins that seem mundane. One of them could be extraordinary. One of them could carry a mint error so rare, so valuable, that it would make headlines, auctions, and history books. You don't need to imagine it. You only need to look, examine, and discover. The next 1994 Washington quarter you encounter could very well be the coin that changes everything. And here's the final revelation: the hunt isn't over. Every year, more collectors awaken to these hidden treasures. Every auction brings new records, new stories, and new opportunities. The 1994 quarter continues to defy expectations, reminding us that even in a world cluttered with ordinary objects, rarity and fortune still exist. It's a lesson in patience, attention to detail, and the unyielding thrill of discovery. So, check your coins. Study them closely. One glance, one careful inspection could be all it takes to unlock a fortune. The 1994 Washington quarter waits quietly in plain sight, ready to reveal its secret to the one who dares to look. Will it be you?
Imagine holding a coin in your hand, something so ordinary it could have slipped unnoticed through countless wallets and cash registers, until you realize it might just be worth a fortune. What if I told you that one tiny quarter, minted in 1985 with a small D stamped on it, could be the ticket to unimaginable wealth, enough to change a life forever? This isn't a fantasy. This is the story of the 1985 D Mint Mark Washington quarter, a coin shrouded in mystery, hidden errors, and mind-blowing value that has collectors across the country sitting up in disbelief. At first glance, it looks like any other quarter you've passed through your fingers hundreds of times. But this isn't just any coin. Somewhere in the design, in the subtle details of the minting process, lies an imperfection so rare, so striking, that it has caused coins to fetch prices most of us can only dream of. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to stumble upon a treasure hiding in plain sight? That's exactly what this coin represents. The 1985 D Washington quarter belongs to the family of coins produced at the Denver Mint, one of the few places in the United States where true minting anomalies can emerge. And make no mistake, anomalies in coins are not mere scratches or small blemishes. They are nature's lottery tickets, flaws that accidentally transform something ordinary into a piece of history, and sometimes a fortune. Experts refer to these as mint errors, and the 1985 D-quarter boasts several that have caused jaws to drop in the numismatic world. One of the most talked about variations is a phenomenon known as a double die error. Picture this: the minting press strikes the coin twice, slightly misaligned the second time, and suddenly, the lettering on the coin appears doubled. On the 1985 D, this manifests subtly, an almost ghostly shadow behind the inscriptions, barely noticeable to the untrained eye. But collectors who spot this error know immediately, this coin isn't just a quarter. It's a gold mine. Then there's the die crack variety, a tiny fissure in the die used to strike the coins. On some of these 1985 D quarters, the crack runs through George Washington's profile, a faint line that makes the coin one of the most intriguing in circulation. These cracks are rare, unpredictable, and highly sought after because each one is unique. In the world of coin collecting, uniqueness equals value, and the 1985 D quarter has both in spades. But here's where it gets even more astonishing. Recent market reports reveal that top-condition examples of this very quarter have sold for jaw-dropping sums, figures that most of us would think belong only in auction houses for rare jewelry or vintage sports memorabilia. Some coins have reportedly changed hands for as much as $490,000. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $500,000 for a coin you could have almost thrown into a parking meter last week. And experts speculate that, in the rarest conditions and with the most pronounced errors, this coin could fetch $1 million or more. Can you imagine the shock of discovering one in your own collection, or even tucked away in a jar of spare change? So how do collectors even spot these anomalies? It's not as simple as glancing at a quarter and saying, "This looks off." No, it's about patience, detail, and an eye trained to recognize what others overlook. Those subtle shadows, the ghostly doubling, the tiny fissures in the metal, they're the silent markers of hidden wealth. And here's the secret: most people pass these coins by, unaware that they are brushing past life-changing money. That's the thrill, the suspense, the very reason collectors will spend hours examining rolls of quarters from the 1985 Denver Mint. And the story doesn't end there. In recent years, numismatic experts have uncovered multiple versions of the 1985 D quarter with slight variations, each more valuable than the last. Some show a subtle rotation in the minting die, others exhibit doubling on the word Liberty, and a few, the most extraordinary, even feature die cracks so prominent that they dramatically altered the profile of Washington's face. Each of these anomalies is a rare fingerprint of the minting process, impossible to replicate, and extremely scarce. Now, imagine the moment you realize the coin in your hand could be one of these rare variants. Your heart races. You check it under a magnifying glass, turn it over, examine every ridge, every letter, every shadow. And then the impossible happens: you spot the doubling, or the crack, or some subtle error that confirms what you've long dreamed of. You are holding a coin that could be worth tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Could this be the one that will change your life? Some may call it luck. Others call it destiny. But one thing is clear: the 1985 D Washington quarter is more than just currency. It's a story waiting to be discovered, a mystery embedded in metal, a real-life treasure map that could lead to unimaginable wealth. And unlike buried gold or ancient artifacts, it might already be sitting quietly in your own pocket change, forgotten in a drawer, or nestled among other coins in your collection. So what should you do next? Look. Examine. Question. Could that ordinary stack of quarters in your drawer hide something extraordinary? Could one coin, overlooked and unassuming, suddenly transform your financial reality? The experts say it's possible. They have witnessed coins with similar mint errors ignite bidding wars, spark national attention, and reshape the lives of their owners almost overnight. The story of the 1985 D quarter is not just about a coin, it's about the thrill of discovery, the rush of uncovering something others have missed, and the undeniable proof that sometimes fortune favors the vigilant. Every collector, every numismatist, every dreamer who has ever wondered, what if, can find hope in this story. What if the coin you hold today is tomorrow's headline? What if your casual curiosity today becomes your ticket to financial freedom tomorrow? The 1985 D. Washington quarter is more than metal and design. It is a reminder that extraordinary value often hides in plain sight, that history and luck sometimes collide in the most unexpected ways, and that your next life-changing discovery could be just a glance away. Are you ready to take a closer look? Are you ready to see what others have overlooked, and claim what could be yours? Because in the world of rare coins, the line between ordinary and extraordinary is razor thin. And today, that line could run straight through the quarter sitting quietly in your hand. One coin. One moment. One life changed forever.